this episode of My Crispi, Unafraid, the JFK files are released and President Trump battles the deep state, the activist judges, and the leftist loonies all around the world. We're going to talk about the latest with President Trump trying to negotiate peace, trying to clean up the corruption in the government, but people standing in its way. Obviously, JFK files released last night. We're also going to talk about that. You guys have missed us. We haven't been on the air for a little bit. That's because we are doing things that are amazing. And if you're here today, you're a real one. So I'm going to tell you what's going on because it is so cool. We got some big moves that we're about to make on the show. And I will never forget the people who stuck with us even through these times. You guys are what we call the real ones, okay? So I need you all to identify yourselves in the chat today, okay, if you're a real one like that, because you mean a lot. I need you to rumble this video. I need you to share the stream. I need you to follow this page. And I need you to say something nice about producer Frankie. So we got a big show for you today. I'm ready. Frankie's ready. You better be too, and let's go. Hello, everybody. Mike Crispi here, coming to you live from New York. It is Wednesday. It is March 19th, and I'm joined in studio by the one and only. He's the most based producer in the game, and, you know, he's got the big guns out today. He's got the big guns. He's well rested. We haven't had a show in a couple days. I've been around doing some stuff. He's ready to go, ready to click the buttons. He's ready to move some studio equipment as soon as we're off the air today. I mean, he's ready. Producer Frankie, how we doing?
I'm ready. I already got a flat tire, but am I ready, Mike?
Ooh.
Let's go.
It's what we call battling through adversity. Battling through adversity. So, yeah, guys, I mean, we got a big show for you today. Obviously, we're going to talk some JFK. We're going to talk about, the interview with Trump, Laura Ingraham last night. We're going to talk a little Canada, talk a little war and peace. But also, as far as the show goes, just to give you guys some updates, you guys know anytime we're about to move studios and move stuff, things are about to happen. So there are some things that are about to be announced that we have not made public yet. However, they will be public very soon. I've been very busy this month. I mean, there's a very busy start to the year, a lot of things that I needed to accomplish, both personally and politically and professionally. And those things are all kind of coming together. So I will make some announcements here. But as soon as the show is over, we're going to have a little bit of a shorter show today because we didn't want to stay off the air. But Frankie and I need to go move everything in this studio. You guys know if you're a fan of the show, we have two studios. We're going to take everything in the studio and we're going to go move it to a new location that's going to be even better than ever before. It's going to allow us even more flexibility with broadcasting all different types of ways. And we're going to have some brand new programming and announcements to talk to you about. The wait is over. Crispi is back. And then for everybody who asks about Crispi politically, well, we have some announcements on that coming up too. I will say, if you're in the chat right now, and if you're a real one, I think I could say to the chat right now that going to be this Friday evening in a place called Bedminster. And there's another guy who's going to be in town on Friday in Bedminster. So you can draw your own conclusions from that. And then on Monday, I'm going to be in a place called Washington, D.C. On the grounds of a beautiful, iconic house that happens to be white. So a lot of cool things happening. And, you're not going to want to go anywhere because there's about to be some really, really, really big developments here in my life and for the show and for the sake of everything. And, people here are chatting and talking and there's a lot of stuff going on. But at the end of the day, I just want to thank everybody here because you have all stuck by us. You have all been with us and you have made what we're doing possible as we go through this transition time. We had a lot of cool things that we needed to accomplish and get done, and we're doing it. And we appreciate it so very much. So, without further ado, Frankie, we're doing well today. We're going to talk a little JFK, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. Obviously, last night, the files have been released for the most part. And, obviously, I've had my theories on the JFK files for a long time. I don't believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Obviously, him getting killed in the transition from prison cells, obviously, was a dead giveaway to anybody with two eyeballs and a functioning brain that, something was up there. Our friend Roger Stone has a very, very popular book, one of the greatest books all time in politics, called The Case Against LBJ. Obviously, the factors of, deep state CIA, the way that LBJ resented Kennedy, the way that JFK resented the deep state, the way that the Italian mob resented Kennedy in other ways, and also the scene. Okay, they were in Dallas, Texas, where LBJ had a lot of influence and power. All of these things coming together, combined with the video evidence that is seldom shown, which obviously is the dead giveaway that there wasn't only one gunman, and a lot of other very strange phenomenons. You ever seen the video? The driver of the car kind of turns around. Was he shooting Kennedy, delivering another shot right there? The Secret Service agent, we don't know. And then you have Jackie Kennedy, who like jumps backwards, which is a very strange reaction. Why is she jumping backwards? A lot of really weird phenomenons that we've seen and talked about over the years as it's regarding to the JFK assassination. But I continue to say, as RFK Jr. has said, that we are not getting the full story. And at the end of the day, it was probably the first deep state coup on a scale quite large that we've ever seen in the country. So when everyone says, oh, the deep state, they've never really reared their ugly head until Donald Trump, I don't believe that's the fact. I believe that these people have been waiting in the wings because they did what they did to Kennedy. Now, we have these new files out. Producer Frankie's gone over them and talked about it. We have some reporting on it. Frankie, what do you say?
Well, first, I'd like to just say this is one of those experiences. When you've been waiting and you've been seeing so many different people that have basically spent their entire lives investigating these things, and then you just get this like news break, like, all right, they're all released, and then you going through Twitter and everyone's like, okay, like everyone start raiding. And I'm just kind of laughing because, if you know anything about like the Warren Commission, there's like one guy I remember watching that was on Joe Rogan who's very, very smart, devoted his whole life to it. And this guy actually read every document in the Warren Commission. And that's like, I remember being like, this guy's a psychopath. Nobody would spend that much time. It's like 80,000 pages. Not 80,000, the Warren Commission itself, but basically that, including all the other documents related to the Kennedy case. It is 80,000 pages. So everyone's like, get reading. I'm like, listen, there are people that have been waiting for certain documents that were clearly redacted in certain spots, waiting for those to be unredacted. So there are people that have been waiting for this for years. But it is wild because as soon as that happens, Mike, I'm like, okay, where do I start? I got 80,000 documents. How do I go through it? I'm looking at the documents. I watch it break on Fox, and it's been 8 minutes. I'm going through Twitter. It's been 8 minutes since the files have been released, and I have these links, and there's 80,000 documents. I said, you know what? I look at Sabrina. I'm like, this is what ChatGPT was made for. I go to ChatGPT. I put the link of the archives of all the files, and I drop it in, and I say, can you analyze this for me with all, and I could find exactly what I asked the robot, but I said, analyze it for, any conspiracies and things that can be proven with this. And it actually starts loading. It took maybe 10 minutes for my beautiful iPad, which is a very expensive iPad, to load, and it's reading and it's processing all of the documents. And me and Sabrina are laughing because it's like, oh, it's actually crunching.
That's so cool.
And then it spits back anything that was weird. But I'll say, Mike, this was 10 minutes since everything was released. And already ChatGPT was like, scholars of this sort have gone through, that have gone through the uncovered things through 2025, Trump's release of these files. Like, they've already said that this doesn't really change anything major within the plot. And it just kind of puts, puts things in perspective and kind of fills in spots of the story. I'm like, it's been 10 minutes. There's 80,000 files. Why are you already telling me that the pros and the scholars have already seen it? And that was just so weird to me. So, but it did give me specific spots to look at. And what I found was totally redacted page of a witness that was actually there when he was shot. And any witness that basically said that they heard the shots coming from ahead of the vehicle, they totally redacted and it disappeared. On top of that, they have, witness accounts of people saying, this man ran to me, a friend of mine said, like, I was there. I know that the CIA had a plot against and was part of the assassination of JFK. And then, like, this guy ends up with a gunshot wound to the head a week later, and then they call it a suicide. Like, all of these things were redacted. So basically, what I was able to gather through the files, which is what I expected, because we knew that even the files are based on an investigation that was so screwed up and such bullshit. So, all the coroner reports, the redo of all of that, it's all nonsense. So what you do get out of it is still this bullcrap CIA plot, but within it you see all the tactics that the CIA actually uses with these fake shell corporations and fake businesses to like turn people and blackmail. It's like all of those things were exposed on like actually how they do things and how dirty they really are, the CIA. And then you get some drops here and there. Anything related to a second shooter, was redacted, but it doesn't paint this big picture because those things were avoided in the first place. The people that were running these investigations kept those out in the first place. So
yeah, see, it's a very good point, and this is what a lot of people were saying when this was coming up. They're like the people who purported this event were likely the same people who investigated the event. So if you are going to talk about a second shooter, which is a theory that, again, I will go to the grave believing happened.
Possibly
right?
even a third shooter,
I'd say. Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Third shooter. I believe the Secret Service agent turned around and fired a shot. Again, unless that, I don't know, Frankie, unless that video is altered, something's up. But there was more than one shooter.
There was some redaction of like people that were found that were also in the area when it all happened that were covered in mud, and it was like a very warm, dry day. So they're thinking that it actually brings in this new conspiracy where people actually think that there was like a trench dug and people were in a trench below the car, and when he came, they shot from below the car. So there's like, more cans of worms coming out. It's what we expect. Yeah. We expect to like get a redaction of 80,000 documents and just like, oh, this is it. Like, of course not.
How much do we know how much was redacted? You release the whole file, the whole thing. Trump says he's going to put it out there. He did it. Promises made, promises kept. But how much of it, people always joke on social media whenever these things are coming out that there's going to be like, all the black lines. So like, for how much black lines were there, Frankie?
No, everything's redacted. There are no more black lines. All witnesses, all people.
You mean unredacted? You mean unredacted?
Yes, unredacted. Everything's unredacted. All of the black lines are redacted. How about that? That's a mind effer. But yes, there were so many pages. We knew when they were just hiding informants and stuff like that because it's just like one little line. But then there are all these witness testimonies where it was full pages of blacked out things. And those things were all uncovered to be like witness number 2 who said the shots came from the front, and then things will still be coming out for sure. We got some time.
So I think the conclusion always says is that there's no conclusion. But again, I will believe that, these theories, add up to the things that people put together for a long time. Obviously, the good guys in all this, people like RFK Jr., people like Roger Stone, people who talk about these things. Those are the ones that have spent time putting this all together. I saw JFK's, who was his grandson, this Schlossenberg guy.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, Frankie?
Yes.
Yeah. So this guy is a paid op by the Democrat Party.
100%.
He's always been paid op by the Democrat Party. He lives this very lavish life in Manhattan. Doesn't do anything. He makes these cringy TikToks. He's like in his late 30s. And, this guy, he's saying, he's like, oh, this shouldn't have been released and we shouldn't be doing it. So it's like, here's what I piece together. Frank, you just roll these things like that on the screen. Here's what I conclude about Schlossenberg is that he is paid to tell people not to read into it, not to do it, and that somehow the transparency about a murder is a bad thing. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that kind of speaks to something, Frankie, because like any time in the history of the world, like I'm talking celebrity or not, if somebody gets murdered, usually the family wants to know the info about how they were killed. Like they want to hold the people responsible. So if you have an individual in the family who is dead set against people being held responsible for the murder of your loved one, allegedly your loved one, it's kind of strange. It kind of flies in the face of what, things have been like in the, history of the human world. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? I mean, it's kind of strange.
Especially
so who's telling him to tell people not to look? Yes.
Yeah, and like especially when it's this situation where every single person that has ever been involved with the investigation is dead, you know? It's just like, give me a break. We're done. It's like, and you know, the Kennedys are obviously a complicated family because they're immense wealth and a lot of children. And obviously people are going to, you know, there are these very strong Democrat actors in the Kennedy family that'll never be bought out. They're within the establishment. And it's just how it is, unfortunately. You're going to have these powers powers that be that look down at the Kennedys and they literally salivate, right? And then they're going to, with time, they're going to get into that family and they're going to pluck out some that'll make it. So it's like with any situation, with any family, it happens. It happens.
Well, it is quite obvious. And again, you know, Schlossenberg is a left-winger. So, you know, he's controlled obviously by elements of the Democrat Party. So why are those people so intent on keeping it out of the public eye, right? It's kind of strange.
Right.
There you go. I think it tells us everything we need to. I think that actually tells us everything we need to know. People looking at this stupid kid, like, you know, squawking. He's older than me, but he acts like a kid, squawking. I go, hold on a minute. It's really bizarre that Schlossenberg is so against, obviously told to be against, the release of the information. What is he trying to cover up for? And who has he been told to do this by so people don't look and expose those people who are paying off Schlossenberg? Right? That, my friends, is the most important piece, in my opinion, of this whole thing. There you go. There's the Crispi perspective on it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with so much more. Do not go anywhere.
Obviously, this won't be the last of our conversation here, but for now.
Yeah, it's for now because we're on a tight ship today. We're on a tight ship. We have a great show. We appreciate everybody here who is in the chat. Log, Alex Sand, Sissy Butt, T. Mitchell, Kit Kat Mar.
The real one.
Fair Patriot. I like that. Fair Patriot. Not unfair Patriot. Fair Patriot. She-Cat. Where have you been? I addressed it in the beginning of the show. Where I've been. Working, grinding, making America great again, making big moves. I mean, we're about to make some big freaking moves. Let me tell you. So, all right. Now a word from our sponsors. First sponsor of our show, our friends on over at the next two sponsors. Those are our friends.
Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. To make matters worse, it's highly unlikely your blood circulation will correct itself on its own, which means your health issues will only continue to decline as you age. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution for your pain. It's only a temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Right now, you can go to getkrill.com/unafraid to learn how to get a special free shipping offer just for being a listener of this show. New research proves there's a potent deep-sea nutrient tucked away 73 miles off the Antarctic coast, which is the key to improving your blood circulation. Researchers are saying that this Antarctic super nutrient, if you add it to your diet, is phenomenal. It has omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. The benefits go on and on. In fact, some people report it outperforms name brand pain relievers. And it doesn't even have dangerous side effects that things like ibuprofen does. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to getkrill.com/unafraid right now to get your special offer. That's getkrill.com/unafraid. GETKRILL.com/unafraid to get your special offer. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey everybody, Mike Crispi here, and I am going to tell you about the smart money strategy. Warren Buffett just invested over $50 billion in energy. Billionaire Ken Griffin invested and increased his oil investments by 150% in the last year. Even Elon Musk says we can't live without oil. President Trump says it too. But here's what Wall Street isn't telling you. There's a smarter way to profit from oil than just buying stocks. It's a unique investment that lets you collect monthly royalty checks from America's richest oil fields. You're not buying shares of the company, you're getting direct ownership in oil producing properties. Drill, baby, drill. Let's go. And you can start with just $25 today. You can learn more about the #1 oil royalty play for 2025 at unafraidoilboom.com. That's unafraidoilboom.com. Unafraidoilboom.com to discover how to collect monthly oil royalty checks starting today. Let's go. Krill, Unafraid Oil Boom. We appreciate them very much. And we also appreciate our sponsors, Brightcore, guys. How about Brightcore? We appreciate Brightcore, guys. Go to mybrightcore.com right now and slash Mike Crispi. That's it, MikeCrispi.com. 25% off with code Mike Crispi, mybrightcore.com. And I'm going to get the information on it. I had it right there, Revived by Brightcore. Where is the Revived by Brightcore script? Check. That was good, right, Frankie? I had it, and then it was gone. Here it is. There you go. As we age, we're all dealing with more aches and pains, thinning hair, wrinkling skin. Even our nails start to get more brittle. I want to tell you about the amazing product that we talked about last week on the show with our great interview. It's Revive from Brightcore Nutrition. It's easy to mix multi-collagen powder. It helps strengthen bones and joints. The best part about Revive is that it works from the inside out. It's also going to help you rejuvenate your skin, help you grow back your hair thicker, healthier, and strengthen your brittle nails. Okay, look at these nails. They're not brittle. They're strong nails. They're smooth nails. Revive contains 5 types of collagen, the best types of collagen. It's all natural, non-GMO, and 100% made in the USA. Today, exclusively for my viewers, you can get 25% off your order with code Mike Crispi today. Just go to mybrightcore.com/Mike Crispi or call them 888-927-5980. Mybrightcore.com. The staff will help you pick the right formula for you. Again, this is healthy stuff, make you live longer, make you live better. We had that great interview last week. So guys, go cash in on this deal while it is available. mybrightcore.com/Mike Crispi. We love them very much. And last but not least today, please head on over to support our friends at, because we're only doing one break today, so we got the next thing. Head on over to support our friends over at ofpfarms.com. Guys, ofpfarms.com is your one-stop shop for everything you need in terms of your household self-care products, soaps, lotions, lip balms. They even have this amazing magnesium pain relief stuff you can rub on you. It's amazing. I use it. It's great. And lip balms and beard products. It really is across the board. Beautiful quality products, all made in the USA on a family-owned and operated goat farm in the beautiful state. It is somewhat beautiful, liberal but beautiful, of Northern California. And they're God-fearing, America First patriots. They've been a great sponsor of the show for a long time. And if you go to ofpfarms.com and use that promo code Crispi, you will get 15% off your order today. That's ofpfarms.com, promo code Crispi for 15% off your order today. Let's go. Beautiful. All right, Frankie.
Let's go. Ready to rock.
All right.
On in.
All right, let's get back into it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here, coming live from New York. You know, we talked about the fact that the deep state continues to make their case in their attack against President Trump. It seems like everything going on right now indicates a rogue bureaucracy in its dying stage. That's where we're at. They couldn't kill Trump. They couldn't jail Trump. They couldn't get Trump to go away after the false flag on January 6th. So now they're at their wits' end, and they're what I call the activist judges state. This is where we're at across all aspects of trying to implement Trump's agenda. They are trying to neutralize essentially what Trump wants to do and what his agency heads want to do. That's all they really have left. All they can really do at this point is to attempt to neutralize the progress that we are making through judges that are rogue, that are leftist, making unconstitutional rulings in order to muck up and slow down the vested authority that the executive branch has clearly and obviously and has always had since the beginning of time. You can see right here, Judge Chutkan. Remember Judge Chutkan, Frankie? Judge Chutkan is the famous judge that was involved in the Trump January 6th case. Judge Chutkan stops Trump EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin from taking back money for canceled Biden-era climate grants. It's our friend Eric Daughtry who put that out. Does a very nice job. So Judge Chutkan is a judge who has never, I don't think, ever worked in a business field. I don't think ever worked in the environmental field. I don't think ever did anything like that. And the power of the purse rests with the Congress authorizing the money to the departments and then the department head spending the money. Nowhere in that equation does the judicial branch have any authority on the administrator of the department, saying where those funds can and cannot go. And then saying you cannot collect the funds back. This is obstruction. And I'm telling you right now, it's so bad. I think at this point, I'm just going to say it. Trump's the commander in chief. Trump has all of the juice and the power. He has both chambers of the Congress. He has a reformed military. He has, I guess you could say, a majority on the Supreme Court, a couple of weird actors in there these days. But I think he needs to go full steam ahead and take it to these activist judges. I'm telling you, we see this problem in New Jersey a lot. You have an activist judge who makes a ruling, which is a ruling that should be vested to a mayor or a governor or or whatever, and they make the ruling with some narrow legal scope. And this is stuff that people's eyes glaze over, but it's so important because then it has to get appealed and go, and all they do is try to obstruct and slow down what should be done. Just like they tried to obstruct the Russia collusion hoax narrative, they're trying to obstruct Trump getting these things done by judges saying they can't do what administrators have always done. When they put the money to the climate policies, the last administrator, the Biden one, why didn't conservative judges say they couldn't? Why didn't they say, oh, you can't do that? Because nobody's even thought that a judge could dictate government spending. Another example here of what's going on. Put this next one on the screen, Frankie. Another Biden judge lives at TikTok. U.S. District Judge Theodore Chong, who was appointed by Obama, just ordered Elon Musk and Doge to restore nearly all of USAID's operations. How? How can a judge call for the reformation of an executive branch function? How does that work exactly? USAID wasn't created by an act of Congress. It was just created. So if it's created by an act of Congress, it can be gotten rid of by an act of Congress, fine. But if it's created by the executive branch, then it can be taken away by the executive branch, can't it? Nowhere in the equation does an activist judge come in. A judge is there to rule on matters pertaining to civil rights and civil liberties and the Constitution being followed and adhered to. The judge cannot, in any way, in any other circumstance, say that, oh no, you can't shut down this operation. They said that the USAID shutting it down likely violated the U.S. Constitution in multiple ways. How? Shutting down a money laundering cesspool operation is not in violation of the Constitution. Created by an act of the president can be taken away by the act of the president. It's unbelievable. I think you got to ignore this completely. Who controls the payroll? Who controls the Military. Who controls all this stuff? I mean, who controls the country? Who controls the chambers? Trump does. It's time we stop listening to these activist judges because they don't care about the Constitution. We're following it. And then now we go through all these appeals processes. So then, yeah, in a year, we'll be able to do something with U.S. aid because they just want to slow roll it. That's what they want. It's all they got left. Trump was talking about this on Fox News last night with Laura Ingraham. Here it is. Roll it.
I don't know who the judge is, but he's radical left. He was Obama appointed. And he actually said we shouldn't be able to take criminals, killers, murderers, horrible, the worst people, gang members, gang leaders, that we shouldn't be allowed to take them out of our country. Well, that's a presidential job. That's not for a local judge to be making that determination.
So Trump there obviously saying something that I don't know how a leftist pundit would refute that, but they're trying. Here's Trump talking about U.S. aid. Frankie, sorry.
You know what he should do?
Trump talking about the U.S. aid scams.
He should really look at where the money went. They don't ever want to do that. You know, the Democrats always talk about, our Constitution's been violated. The one thing they never talk about is where did these billions of dollars go? They never want to look because when you see where the money went and the scams, you don't even have to see anything. Just look at the heading and the scam that they've created. And a judge like him will never look at that. They'll just say, you want to, it sounds so nice. USAID, isn't it beautiful? But it's a whole big scam, Laura. And a judge like that is so bad for our country.
It is so bad for the country. Now, here's why they do it, because then the pundits go, Trump is defying the orders of judges, right? Just like it's like some grandiose thing that they want to plaster on a headline and say, he's defying the rule of law, the judges, because people think, the judges are like impartial, like, arbiters of these things. Absolutely not. You grant the money through the executive branch, you create the department through the executive branch, you can take it away that way, and the judges know it. And they're derelict in their duties when they grandstand and say it's for the Constitution, when what they're really doing is they're running political ops. That's what we're up against. Now, it is frustrating, but let me tell you this to conclude. I'm happy because this tells me we're winning. It's all they got left. It's all they have left. Couldn't kill him, couldn't jail him, couldn't false flag him on January 6th. Couldn't Russia collusion hoax. Couldn't have the mainstream media, drive his popularity down. No. All they have left now is judges obstructing. And the same rhetorical attacks on the mainstream media. We're winning. It's not going to be easy, but we're winning and we're going to win. All right, guys. Frankie and I got a lot to do today. We got a lot of things to do. Frankie's got to go change a tire. We got to go move some studios. We got to go shake and bake. So, we got to leave the show early today, but we wanted to hop on for a little bit. We wanted to do a little bit of a show. Here's what I recommend. I recommend you just go back and watch the show twice, okay? Since you have an hour, just watch me and Frankie twice because it's a beautiful show. Just go back to the beginning, watch it twice. There you go. That's, yeah. Frankie's like, what? Go do that. You will not be sorry. Rumble, share, like this video. Will we be back? Will we be back tomorrow? The answer is, I think so. Frankie and I got to go.
Don't put too much pressure on me.
If we set it all up properly by the end of the day, we will be back tomorrow. If we don't, then we'll be back by Thursday, I guess. By Friday, I guess. But we're going to do this right now. We appreciate you guys. We love you all. We thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you back live next time. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here. We talked yesterday a little bit about the viral moment that Republicans are seizing upon with the health industry, okay? RFK Jr. brilliantly goes to the Steak and Shake after they announce that they're going to change all their French fries and all their frying oil from the vegetable BS to the beef tallow, captures the hearts and minds of people. And I think now more than ever, Americans are more in tune with their health. I always say, well, the Democrats are doing cringe TikToks. We're doing actual cool stuff, okay, to have an impact on people of all ages, young, old. And I think this conversation about health is pretty amazing, how we're having it more often. I've made dietary changes to my life. You guys know that. I know so many other people who are now like reading labels on stuff to like what's in this, and they don't know what any of these things are. Now they're reading it and learning about it. It's a pretty amazing phenomenon. It's the Maha phenomenon. And joining us today to talk a little bit about it, my friend Kim Bright, the founder of Bright Core Nutrition. Kim, RFK Jr. has been the health secretary now for a couple of weeks, and I mean the new phenomenon of good health in America has swept the nation by storm. What do you make about all this stuff, and what is your initial thoughts on RFK and the shift of the American public to a more healthy living style?
Well, I'm thrilled because from the very beginning, I kept telling my friends, wow, wouldn't it be great if President Trump got RFK Jr. to run with him as vice president? And then I thought about it, and I could, no, he needs to get in there and change all the health stuff. So I've been for him ever since he came on board and announced. So I'm thrilled about it. It's high time that we started having changes, and he will get in there and he's going to really rout out all of the bad guys that have been there, that have been their purpose. They've been destroying our health. They've been allowing, the manufacturers and the big pharma and all this to put all these poisons in our food supply, and also in medications as well are poisoning us. So the whole thing is, I'm excited that we finally have a chance to clean up our food supply. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 50 years. I have been Maha for almost 50 years with helping people get better. And so to have somebody in that power position talk about the poisons that are in our food, and we've got poisons in our water and our air too, don't forget, but he's going to get in there, and I can't be happier about it.
Yes. And, a big part of what I think is very exciting, that gets you excited, that gets me excited, is this matter of the FDA, okay? The FDA obviously falling under his purview. The FDA has become, in my opinion, nothing more than a corrupt criminal organization that, they take money from the food suppliers that put the chemicals in, and kind of linked in with big pharma that then sells the pills that handles the side effects from eating the poison. It's such a corrupt racket. So what do you think RFK is going to do with the FDA specifically, and what do you think it means for Americans and their health?
Well, he's got to get in there and rip the machine apart. And there's going to be some pain in doing it, just like President Trump's got to rip the deep swamp up, and we've all got to have patience and walk through it. But the other side looks brilliant and wonderful for all of our health. I mean, he's going to get in there and get rid of the people that have been supporting these other organizations that are trying to ruin our health. He's going to expose what's been added into our foods. He's already done it with red dye, and he's doing it now with the fats that they're using in fast foods and restaurant cooking. And he's, by him being there, by RFK Jr. just being present, like you said, it's making people read labels now. It's making people aware that, why am I so sick? Why do we have these high rates of diabetes, obesity? Why am I getting my children? They're sick, they're depressed. So finally, we're coming back to actually the root cause of why we have this machine in place, where what we eat makes us sicker, what we're taking in medications makes us sicker. It's a downward spiral. Then we need surgeries. Then we need more meds. Then we're changing symptom into symptom. Now let's focus on getting back to like normalcy. Let's focus back to getting our food real again, healthy again. It doesn't contain all of these artificial colors, flavors. We don't have all of these ingredients going into the feed of the animals. So, this is affecting people. It gives them pain. It gives them aches, and their joints and their bones are falling apart. Osteoporosis, brain health, heart health, gut health. It's impinged on our whole body by eating this over generations. So it's time to clean it up.
So what do you, so Kim, what do you think? I mean, as people age, what's the biggest, detriment from a diet and a lifestyle like this over time? What is this, this culture of poison goes on? They eat it for decades. I mean, they've been poisoning our food now for decades, really. So what does this do to people as they get older, as they keep doing it years and years, compounding? And what do you think, two-part question, what do you think people can start to do about it to kind of move in the right direction in this new age?
Well, the whole thing is it's been destroying our cellular structure at that level. It's been destroying our bones. It's been destroying, our whole body is being attacked. And so therefore, what we can do that would be real easy is to start looking at what's missing out of our diets. We need to detox from all the poisons, of course. We need to get those out. Stop eating the same thing, read labels, get those out. But it affects people as we're aging. Our skin sags, our hair falls out. We don't think as clearly. We have a gut lining that goes from, all the way here, all the way down to where everything exits. And that starts thinning out. We get holes, leaky gut syndrome. Our organs start to fall. Our, wrinkles and all of that start to happen. And our bones become brittle. So the whole thing here is, if we were to concentrate on putting back in one thing, and putting back in the glue that holds us together that we've been missing out of our diet, it's called collagen. And collagen is the glue that holds us together. It's 90% of our bones. A lot of people think it's calcium. It's collagen. It is what lifts and keeps, it's the structure in our body, and it holds our skin up. So when that structure starts to fall apart, and fall down, our skin sags, we get wrinkles. When that structure starts to fall apart, our hair starts to thin and fall out. When that structure falls apart again, that gut lining opens up. We've got leaky gut syndrome. Now we've got more poisons leaking into all of our cells and body. We get brain fog. We can't think. We have all kinds of brain situations going on. Heart health's affected. Everything's affected when we don't have enough collagen in our body.
Wow. So what do you think in terms of collagen, how people can get more of it? I mean, your company makes one of the best collagen supplements on the market. I've known for a little while how important it is, and I take it. So tell us about what you do, your product, Revive, which we've talked about on the show, what it does and how it helps people and why it's superior.
Well, I've been in this industry I've been helping people for almost 50 years. And it wasn't until about 15 years ago that I started realizing that collagen existed, even because it wasn't something that was written up about much at all. And so as I'm aging, then I'm wanting something that's I don't want to look old. I don't think there's anybody out there, man or woman, that wants to look old. So, there's that vanity point of view where I want my skin to stay elastic. I want my bones to stay strong. I don't want to have to walk around with a walker or be in a wheelchair, I want to stay healthy and strong. And so collagen is the thing that we need to put back in for those bones, for those joints. It's in our joints. It's in, every single tissue of our body, connective tissue, has collagen. So what we did is we put together the highest quality collagen out there. We researched it. There's a lot of collagen out there that you can buy for very cheap. And guess where the source is? It's not a good source. And it's been shown to have a lot of collagens have heavy metals, and depending on where they're sourcing the sources for the collagen, and a lot of them only have one or two types. We have 5 types of collagen in our Revive. And so what that means is it's covering all the different areas of your body. We have type 1, type 2, type 3, 5, and 10. And 5 and 10 are very expensive. And we're sourcing those sources from pasture-raised free-range chickens, grass-fed bovine. We're getting wild Atlantic fish. So we're getting really, really good sources because source matters. You want clean sources. So what we do is we put that, we hydrolyze those collagen peptides because they are easier to absorb in your body. And so we spend the money to really break them down and hydrolyze those. Then we put in hyaluronic acid. Now, hyaluronic acid, I didn't tell you this, but collagen starts to leave our body by age 20, 25, depending on our stress. And by age 50, we're like down to, 20% of what we had as a child. So hyaluronic acid is also the same, where it is like the WD-40 for our joints. And keeps our skin moistured, with, bringing in up to 1,000% of its own weight in water. So our skin stays elastic, our joints stays elastic. We also put in biotin, which is great for hair. We've got people, that want their hair glowing and their skin glowing and their hair growing. And so biotin helps with that. And then, of course, vitamin C is in there too, because collagen can't produce itself without the vitamin C in our body. So we've got this incredible formula that we've put together that we're having so many results with it from people. People will call in and say, my daughter's using this stuff. I don't even know what it's called, but her skin is so different. She's lost these wrinkles. Her hair is like shiny. Other people will call in and say, I had osteoporosis. I went to the doctor again. My bone density is different. I personally experienced that because I broke my knee walking off in a space when I was going for a walk on the beach a year and a half ago. And the doctor couldn't even believe my bone density because he's like, you took a big fall. At your age, you should have probably broken your shoulder, your wrist, your hip. My gosh. And I recovered so fast. So this is our Revive. You can revive your body, your bones, your skin, your hair, your nails, and especially that gut lining, and also what lifts and keeps our organs up and in place so we don't get droop of the bladder and we don't get droopy organs. So there you go.
We don't want droopy organs. That's it. That quote
will
stick with us. And Revive is and Revive is 100% made in the USA. Again, for the people out there, sourced from old natural stuff, USA. So talk about that, and then how people use the product, like how they can use it, how they can get it, like how they should take it, that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, we've got 2 flavors. I use in the morning, I put the unflavored in my coffee, do it every single morning. You've got to be consistent because your body's been lacking this. And naturally, it's been losing it since you were 20 or 25. So you want to put it back in. Don't use it once a week or anything like that. Use it every single day. And you might want to hyperdose when you start and maybe take it twice a day. But I use the unflavored in my coffee in the morning. Then in the afternoon, we have strawberry lemonade, which everybody loves. I mean, my grandkids love it. Anybody loves this. You just mix it in water. It's a powder. And because we've spent that money to hydrolyze it, it really dissolves so quickly and wonderfully. So you take it and you'll start seeing results like, 3 weeks, a month, you'll start noticing your skin is changing. You'll start noticing first your nails. People call us and say, I can't believe my nails are growing so strong and fast. And then guys call us and say, I have to go to the barber now more times, but I got more hair growing in. So, it's good results. And then how do they get it? Well, they we've got this special for your viewers today, Mike, 25% off with code Mike Crispi at mybrightcore.com, Mike Crispi. And that's / Mike Crispi, or call 888-927-5980. And we really want you to call because we have people. We've been doing this a long time. We're 29 years going into 28 years going into 29 years that Brightcore is. So we've got people that have been trained to talk to you and answer questions. So call 888-927-5980. And we want to also make sure that this product's right for you. You're getting the right thing. And when you call in to that number, we're going to give you up to 50% off and free shipping as well. And if you're one of the first 100 callers, well, we're going to throw in our Radiance. That's our vitamin D3.
No, very good. Very good. This is what you guys need to do. It's called Maha. Okay. So my friend Kim Bright there with the offer again, that is mybrightcore.com / Mike Crispi for 25% off your order, or call them 888-927-5980 for up to 50% off. And you got to figure out, again, what's right for you. We want to keep you guys healthy. We want to keep you guys lean and mean. We don't want you breaking any bones or having any droopy organs or whatever that quote was, Kim. But Kim Bright, we appreciate Kim Bright coming on for Brightcore, being a great sponsor of the show, and for dropping some knowledge here in the age of Maha. Kim, final thoughts?
Well, I think there's no one that doesn't need this if you're over the age of 20. And please, let's RFK our whole life here, and look at labels and start using good supplements and start eating good food, organic foods, and clean up your water, get a good water source, and exercise, all that. But really, really, let's maha.
Yes, they RFK'd the French fries. Now you got to RFK yourself. There you go. Kim Wright, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We will have you back on very soon. All right, guys, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with so much more. Do not go anywhere.
Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. To make matters worse, it's highly unlikely your blood circulation will correct itself on its own, which means your health issues will only continue to decline as you age. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution for your pain. It's only a temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Right now, you can go to getkrill.com/unafraid to learn how to get a special free shipping offer just for being a listener of this show. New research proves there's a potent deep sea nutrient tucked away 73 miles off the Antarctic coast, which is the key to improving your blood circulation. Researchers are saying that this Antarctic super nutrient, if you add it to your diet, is phenomenal. It has omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. The benefits go on and on. In fact, some people report it outperforms name brand pain relievers. And it doesn't even have dangerous side effects that things like ibuprofen does. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to getkrill.com/unafraid right now to get your special offer. That's getkrill.com/unafraid. getkrill.com/unafraid to get your special offer. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey everybody, Mike Crispi here, and I am going to tell you about the smart money strategy. Warren Buffett just invested over $50 billion in energy. Billionaire Ken Griffin invested and increased his oil investments by 150% in the last year. Even Elon Musk says we can't live without oil. President Trump says it too. But here's what Wall Street isn't telling you. There's a smarter way to profit from oil than just buying stocks. It's a unique investment that lets you collect monthly royalty checks from America's richest oil fields. You're not buying shares in a company. You're getting direct ownership in oil producing properties. Drill, baby, drill. Let's go. And you can start with just $25 today. You can learn more about the #1 oil royalty play for 2025 at unafraidoilboom.com. That's unafraidoilboom.com. Unafraidoilboom.com to discover how to collect monthly oil royalty checks starting today. Let's go.
Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. To make matters worse, it's highly unlikely your blood circulation will correct itself on its own, which means your health issues will only continue to decline as you age. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution for your pain. It's only a temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Right now, you can go to getkrill.com/unafraid to learn how to get a special free shipping offer just for being a listener of this show. New research proves there's a potent deep sea nutrient tucked away 73 miles off the Antarctic coast, which is the key to improving your blood circulation. Researchers are saying that this Antarctic super nutrient, if you add it to your diet, is phenomenal. It has omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. The benefits go on and on. In fact, some people report it outperforms name brand pain relievers. And it doesn't even have dangerous side effects that things like ibuprofen does. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to getkrill.com/unafraid right now to get your special offer. That's getkrill.com/unafraid. GETKRILL.com/unafraid to get your special offer. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey everybody, Mike Crispi here, and I am going to tell you about the smart money strategy. Warren Buffett just invested over $50 billion in energy. Billionaire Ken Griffin invested and increased his oil investments by 150% in the last year. Even Elon Musk says we can't live without oil. President Trump says it too. But here's what Wall Street isn't telling you. There's a smarter way to profit from oil than just buying stocks. It's a unique investment that lets you collect monthly royalty checks from America's richest oil fields. You're not buying shares in a company. You're getting direct ownership in oil producing properties. Drill, baby, drill. Let's go. And you can start with just $25 today. You can learn more about the #1 oil royalty play for 2025 at unafraidoilboom.com. That's unafraidoilboom.com. Unafraidoilboom.com to discover how to collect monthly oil royalty checks starting today. Let's go.
Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. To make matters worse, it's highly unlikely your blood circulation will correct itself on its own, which means your health issues will only continue to decline as you age. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution for your pain. It's only a temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which